Hello! Bit of me here. First name's Andrew, so that's why you'll see me as Andrew Me on the forums, so known by my name. Just going to take you through a quick guide of capturing stuff from my setup. I've got the two PCs. The one on the left is a Windows XP machine I use for old gaming. One on the right is a Linux box. Neither are particularly up to date, but it's what I use. So the both monitors, both of them output to HDMI and VGA. The Windows box is cloned view. Linux box is does go to both monitors. Got the PS3 running at the moment. As you can see, I output to both. Main telly in the room, and also the second monitor I use. This has achieved PS3 output. Goes into a HDMI switch box here. The other one that's plugged in is an Amazon Fire TV stick. It gets pretty complex pretty quickly. This switch box, only the two inputs, goes into a duplicator here. It's got one input on this side and two outputs. One of these outputs goes to the main telly in the room. The other output goes into, just to prove it, there are two, this second switch box. So it comes in here. The input here is from the Windows XP machine, and the input on the right here is the Xbox 360. This output heads off to another duplicator. Again, one input, two outputs. Both duplicators do HDCP decryption, so they output non-HDCP HDMI signals, which means capture becomes very much easier. Don't need to source a HDCP capture card. I use a Blackmagic Intensity Pro. It's a PCI card in the Linux box. So the one output goes to the second monitor, and the other output goes directly to the capture card. As you can see, both screens have PS3. If I turn the PS3 off, without doing anything, the Amazon Fire TV stick eventually pops up. There we go, one Amazon Fire TV stick. And if I turn my Xbox 360 on, because it goes into the second of the two splitters, selection boxes even, it only goes onto the monitor over the way. You can see the first splitter is now on the Amazon Fire TV stick, the second splitter is now on the Xbox 360. I turn Windows XP box on, that disappears. I'll just turn the Xbox 360 off. There we go. I've got a KVM switch box, which allows me to switch between the two via keyboard. So that's the XP clone. Back to my Linux box on that screen. XP machine still running. Just turn that off. I switch this monitor from the second HDMI source to the first. Dual screen Linux box. See, just standard dual screen, nothing special. Finally, the complex bit. If I just shove this onto composite AV, and I will switch on the Wii, SNES, GameCube, PS2 and Xbox. If I switch See the GameCube's popped up there with the Game Boy player still in it. And switch the main telly to SCART. There you go. GameCube pops to both. At the back here, I've got a SCART selection box. Turn the GameCube off, turn the PS2 on. No disking at the moment. PS2 off, Xbox on. It's Project Gotham Racing 2 coming up. Xbox off. Oops. SNES on. That was the Wii bar. SNES is on, honest. Okay, the SNES doesn't want to come on for some reason. It's fairly typical of retro stuff. And lastly, the Wii. Try the SNES again. Hey, there we go. There's the SNES. So, just turn all these off. There's no way I'd normally do that. So they all feed into that one SCART box, SCART selection box. In itself, this outputs into this here, which is another SCART selection box. Second one is fed over from these. These are the outputs from the PS3 and the Xbox 360, should I wish to have audio separate. Also for ST PS3, for some retro games that are available on it. So SCART switch for that, to select between the two. That outputs down to another SCART box down there, which is a splitter. So there's one input, two outputs. One output comes into here, which is another selection box for the telly. And the other one heads along the floor, horrendous mess of cables, into this box here. So I could plug in other consoles at this point straight into here and get them on just localized on this table. That feeds into the first VCR. This VCR also receives RF, usually via this cable plugged in, so that the likes of my Spectrum and other old stuff can be played. So that tunes them in. That outputs RF into this VCR. This VCR outputs both RF and SCART. The SCART comes into the switch box you can see and outputs via composite into this. This outputs composite into the telly. The RF output from this VCR feeds directly into the second capture card, which is an older one. Takes RF or S video. I don't do S video these days. And I've missed a step somewhere. Ah yes, this SCART selection box not only outputs down to there and splits, it outputs composite into the here. This outputs composite down here into this component selection box. That in turn feeds the HDMI capture card as a component. Here I've got selections between PSP, Retro TV, and the sound for the Windows XP machine. Obviously that is from that mess. And that's pretty much the setup. Got a spare HDMI down there. That can be fed by other devices I might plug in, like my Android tablet. So that's pretty much the capture setup. And the absolute mess of wires everywhere. cables are horrendous. So in addition to that, I've also got a webcam for anything else. 3DS, for example, would normally be sat there, but my son's borrowed it. And the PSP, although I do have direct capture as an option for that, which is this cable here, like so. And if I just grab this one, so that other one looks like a audio jack, but it's actually a TV jack. It's audio and TV. Some retro devices are capable of that. So that allows me to get that into the capture mix. What else? So, lots and lots of stuff. Guitars, skateboard thing. We've got big dance mat thing there. Wii mat, Wii board even. That box is purely karaoke for the family entertainment. Lots of games I haven't tested. My daughter's just done stuff because she's back from uni. Not all these boxes are full of games, but most of them are. There's also PC stuff in there, stuff that I'm not using anymore. A couple of games that I am playing and some that I haven't tested. Games I haven't tested. PC games, all manner of PC games that are primarily pinball. Some old tape stuff, Amiga stuff, Tristan Pinball, Little Wings first outing, albeit they didn't do the PC version. Sega Master System underneath. And there's, again, if they don't produce SCART, they could produce, well, they probably do produce radio frequency. Games, more games, books, DVDs, music, DVDs, games, and another shelf of stuff I haven't tested yet. I really do need to test games. Stop buying, testing. Game Gear. I've recorded some of that recently, but I still haven't posted it. I've got an ancient Game Boy on the shelf. A bag full of Game Boy stuff. Game Boy Advance and colour and old. Got a box with television stuff in. Cables. Box of cables. Horrendous cables. Hate cables. Got a game track. Got two of those actually. All 3 games. There's only 3 games. And I'm recording on Android. Play lots of Android. Android tablet. Android Amazon Fire TV stick. Just play games. I think that's about it. Bye bye.